That sums it up a little bit better, right, with everything that's happening in the world. Most of you are here. I want to thank you for being here on my, now I guess my new main channel for a long time here. And I appreciate everybody who came over and subscribed. The video that I got a strike on, if anyone's wondering, it was actually about what YouTube was doing with taking down all of the Magic Potion videos. And it wasn't even live yet. I literally uploaded it unlisted. I was going to put it up an hour after I uploaded it. And I got a strike without it even being live. So... Can you make it up? Not really. All I was doing was actually just pointing out what Susan said and what was out there, and they don't even want you to highlight that. So that video is what got a strike. Some people were asking how I uploaded then, which I've explained a million times. I even explained it in the video. I upload a video and I unlist it and I leave it for every time I'm going, I get a strike. So I have if I get one, I'll put that video live so you know where I am. Then when that wears off, I put another one up and leave it unlisted. That way people can find me when it happens. Kind of a smart thing to do. I recommend other channels do it as well who have backups. That way your subscribers will know where you are and didn't think you vanished off the face of the earth, because you're not allowed to even, you can comment with the channel, but you can't even, you can't upload and you can't post in that creator post thing that they have. So anyway, that's what happened. I uploaded that video to the website. I'm also going to be uploading new content over there as well. So I'm at the 1-9er on here is going to be a real problem in the future. Continue to try to work around and do what I can for everybody, but I'm doing the best I can. I mean, it's so unbelievable what's happening in this world, and how we have the flaming community out there who are just disgusting, sickening things that aren't even human, who are literally taking away free speech from everybody. But what do you expect from people that don't have brains in their heads? So eventually it'll come around to them, and then eventually when the trumpets sound, it'll really come around. So I'll continue my best. I apologize for having to switch channels all the time, but you can thank a lot of these people who do it. They don't want you to watch what you want to watch. They want you to watch what they want you to watch, which is, Elmo dressing in, females' clothing on Sesame Street. So anyway, I want to talk for a few minutes about the government shutdown. This obviously isn't the first time that they've had rumors of this, and the government shutdown. But Trump, there was a 35-day shutdown that I covered. What's different this time around is we know they're destroying everything now. Then it was like, oh my goodness, is this it? Is it happening? Oh, okay. Preparing, which is what they do, getting people ready for it. Now that it's coming in, people are just like, oh yeah, well this happens here and there. There might be a shutdown for a month or two. Well, here's the problem. There's going to be a lot of food banks that get closed. There's going to be a lot of people who don't collect Social Security. So they are bankrupting the system. They are bankrupting people, and they are making it so people cannot eat, get food stamps. Food banks will have shortages, and this will probably force a lot of people into FEMAs. So take a look.
6:30, shutdown, showdown, the clock ticking, just over 24 hours now for lawmakers to make a deal and keep the government open.
It's more than politics. It could put thousands of Arizonans out of work and put a strain on food banks already struggling because of the pandemic. Patrick Hayes shows us the local impact of the debate in Washington.
Last time the government shut down, the folks at St. Mary's jumped into action.
We've been through that a couple of times here at the food bank, and it's certainly not something we want to experience again if we can avoid it.
The local nonprofit gave out thousands of pounds of food to furloughed workers.
Everybody from the TSA to the Phoenix Indian Medical Center to even up in the Grand Canyon, and folks who were working at the national parks. We were pumping a lot of food into those areas to help people make ends meet until the government got their situation sorted out.
In Washington, Democrats and Republicans are pushing a bill that would fund the government through December 3rd. But if a plan doesn't come together, the government could shut down by the end of the week. According to the finance website Wallet Hub, during the last government shutdown, Arizona was ranked the 10th most affected state. In Arizona, 1 in 5 families are food insecure, which means they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And that demand increases when families start losing paychecks. St. Mary says they proved they're able to ramp up distribution during the pandemic, but hope it doesn't come to that.
If those paychecks stop in any sort of way, whether it's a layoff, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a government shutdown, we see very quickly here at St. Mary's Food Bank how fast people can go from being okay to being in need of emergency food.
Congress has until Thursday night to approve a plan. Patrick Hayes, ABC 15, Arizona.
Also in Washington tonight, Arizona Congressman.
A government shutdown Thursday stands to send thousands of San Diego workers home on furlough and strip away a range of key services.
But as our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains why it's next month's potential debt ceiling default that could really hit our pocketbooks.
I've been retired for about 9 years now.
Don Holtz loves to spend his free time taking his RV to national parks. If the government shuts down Thursday, he can't do that.
The jewel of our country are our national parks, and that's what we pay taxes for, and not to have that available, that's a big issue for me.
Holtz's $2,100 monthly Social Security check helps fund those trips. He'd still get that money amid a government shutdown, but if the U.S. doesn't lift its debt ceiling by October 18th, he and 500,000 other San Diegans will be empty-handed.
It's not 80 or 90% of my monthly income, but it's pretty significant. And I know a lot of people out there are living paycheck to paycheck, and that is Social Security paycheck to Social Security paycheck now.
The U.S. has never defaulted on its debt, but if it did, the impact would be felt beyond San Diegans on Social Security. For example, according to the New York Times, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said soldiers wouldn't know when they'd be paid, and interest rates could rise on credit cards and future car loans and mortgages. Point Loma Nazarene chief economist Lynn Reeser says she doubts the U.S. will default given the political ramifications.
While we're going through this angst, it's not going to make the stock market very calm, and it's going to make a lot of people nervous.
And in the center of a battle playing out in our nation's capital.
I mean, this is obviously part of their plan. This is what they're doing. They are destroying everything. Right? Remember, for years I've talked about all of their symbols and signs. And what do they always talk about? Rebirth, right? Order out of chaos, the phoenix rising from the ashes. They have to destroy everything to rebuild it. And they're finally doing it. The food shortages that you're going to see are even going to be affected with this, even though you might say, well, food banks, there's going to be a shortage of food being delivered. Government workers and stuff are obviously not going to be able to work. And like I said, Social Security, a lot of people after 30 days or so are not going to be able to get Social Security. I believe mid-October would be their last payment. And a lot of people who have spent their entire lives working and paying their taxes are about to get the middle finger from Big Brother. Because that's what Big Brother is here to do. Satan's bidding. So they're playing dumb. They're pretending to keep this about the left and the right because they're going to blame the Republican Party for not signing the debt bill to make the country into more debt. They'll default on loans. All types of chaos and ridiculous things are going to happen. Remember, they have to destroy the dollar. Okay? They have to destroy currency around the world to get this one world digital currency, which they are planning. They've talked about it at the Great Reset. The Great Reset is all you really need to know. They've been talking about resetting, and they've tricked all these dumb people out there into wanting a reset, because they're like, can you imagine how great a reset will be? There won't be any more systemic hatred or anything. Oh, and they're like, oh, yeah. They're talking about destroying your money. They're talking about not letting you own anything. And the problem is that a lot of these younger people they lean towards the liberal side, even though both sides are controlled and a total waste of time. But I use that, as a loose term, because that's really what they all identify themselves as. They don't own anything. They don't work. They don't do anything. They're useless. They sit around and play video games and troll online and flag and censor. So they're like, oh, I'm not going to own anything anyway. What's the big deal? They want to just live that life and let Big Brother take care of them as long as they have their cell phone and they can play video games. And thus, they're going to destroy the economy. They're going to make it very difficult for people to be able to get food. Now, one of the things on my website that's pinned over there, and there's good dialogue about it, so if you're on the website, make sure you check it out. But for those of you who aren't, you should get over there and look into some of this stuff. People are talking about great places to find good food supplies, homesteading, how to be more of a survivalist. Because for years we've all been talking about it, and people are like, oh, these crazy people, they think they're going to shut everything down. Oh, they are. And we've made it pretty clear. All of us who have talked about this stuff, everything that we've said was going to happen is happening. Okay? You're seeing a military state be put in place around the world. Australia, other places, you're seeing the National Guard roll in in America. Oh, they're driving the school bus. Oh, they're going to work at the hospitals. Oh, soon they're going to be your cashiers at the grocery store, where you're going to have military people standing in the aisles telling you can only get one roll of toilet paper holding up a gun. Yeah. All of this stuff is going to happen that way, not the way that you thought, where they're just going to show up at your door and hold a gun to your... No. They slowly ease it in. It becomes a new normal, just like the masks, where it's like you see people who have the magic potions still wearing them. There's like, yeah, but I don't mind. I don't mind wearing it. Like, huh? I mean, it's just the most insane stuff, because we live in an insane world. So don't be surprised if this shutdown, look, it might not necessarily happen. I don't know what their internal plan is. They've taken so much stuff away. It would surprise me if they continue to do this, because you would think there'd be pushback, but they haven't seen any pushback. So why would they stop? They're just doing what they want. They're getting away with what they want. Look what they're doing to the internet with free speech. I mean, most of us aren't even saying anything magic potion-wise, other than the fact that we don't agree with it being mandated and forced on us. And they're taking away having that opinion, right? Taking away having opinion against Sodom and Gomorrah. Taking away, the Bible. We're seeing Christian channels get taken down and suppressed, like ministers who are reading from the gospel. Why? Because, certain verses are offensive and dated, and they don't fit into today's world. I don't think so. But that's what they say. You're seeing Christians who are using exemptions to get around this stuff, not being granted exemptions. They just had a guy in the NBA who did it, and he was denied his exemption. People on my website have been posting that they're being denied it. Husbands, wives, family members. So this is the persecution that we've all read about coming. Some people thought it was already here. Well, it's here, but it's going to get worse, and we're going to have to endure it. But with the shutdown looming, for people who rely on food stamps and people who rely on Social Security, you're going to get pushed out first. I guarantee you there will be issues with accessing the bank, because what they're going to say is, well, the bank can't afford to give you your money right now because of the government shutdown. The bank doesn't have your money. So they're going to just be holding on to your money and liquidating it at some point, because they don't care. So keep your eye on the actual lingering, lurking shutdown. It's supposed to be like within the next 24 hours or so, and of course, like I said, they're pushing the left-right divide, so that instead of people looking at these elected politicians who all will still be making their money, they'll still all be getting paid. I'm sure they'll pretend, some of them, that they're not. Instead of looking at them and saying, what are you doing to our country? What have you done? You've destroyed it. You're destroying it. They want it to be left-right, and that's why Biden plays this idiot role. Not saying that he's not one in real life, but he plays it to a T, right? The chaos at the border, all this stuff that they constantly are pushing. So the left points a finger at the right points one back, and now when they go, well, the Republicans are the ones who are being babies, they decided to let the whole government shut down because they didn't want to pass a bill that was going to get us out. So then they just keep fighting with each other. Well, these people are all hidden in the mountains in their underground bunkers. None of them are out in public. If you think for 1 second that these people are out in public or at the White House, think again. Okay, these people are hidden deep. They've been telling us this for years. I've covered stories about how they have, apocalypse bunkers and all this stuff. They're hiding from the people. They're afraid of the people. They're doing all this stuff knowing that no one's going to be able to find them anyway. And of course, they're protected by the National Guard. They're protected by the military. We're not. They are. The military is here to take us out. Ridiculous. All of it is just ridiculous, and how we allow it to happen is just even more ridiculous. But as long as people can take their energy out on fighting amongst left and right, they continue to get away with it. And that's why it works perfect for them. And then when they destroy it, and it's Antichrist arrives, and it's all one world, and everybody's riding the small world at Disney, singing and holding hands, singing Kumbaya, it's going to be too late for all of them, because they're going to be under full government control. They're going to be taking the mark. And it's all downhill once we get to that point, which is very, very close. So keep your eye on the shutdown. A reminder again, check out the website if you haven't. I really appreciate anyone out there. If you could become a Patreon, consider becoming one. It helps a great deal with all this stuff going back and forth with channels, monetized, not monetized. If you can, it's greatly appreciated. If you like the content, like to listen every day. If not, it's totally understandable. I'm trying my best to get content out to you guys. But some people are like, well, why does the website have to cost money? Well, for starters, it costs thousands of dollars a year just to be able to have unlimited memory on there, whatever you want to call it, for me to upload videos on there and not be restricted to how much I can upload. And another reason, which is really important, is it keeps trolls out. Now, there are some people who just end up liking to pay money to join and troll, and that's fine, because that money, I know who they are, I know where they live, and I use that money and I put it in a pile, and that money goes towards buying Bibles for prisons and youth places that don't have them. So they're just helping get the word out. And they think that they're, cool and clever when they put up a troll post and then they get blocked and deleted and can't refund it because they can't reverse charge it. So the reason that that's there, though, is the site would be filled with trolls. It would just be nonstop. All these, flamers would be over there every day. But most of them can't, because they can't ask mommy or daddy for their credit card and go and do it. And if they do, I just block it. So they pay for the 30 days and they get access for 5 minutes. That's the way it goes. So that's one of the reasons for it. In addition to many other things, there's a lot of people who are helping on the website who I appreciate greatly, and a lot of people are posting great information. A lot of people are taking the website very, very serious and are there to share information. The site's not all about me. It's not all about my content that I put up. It's about everyone. There's a community there. There's people sharing, okay, I can't get a job because I don't have the magic potion. Does anyone know somewhere I can go? I'm in this state. These are important things right now with the way the world's going. So check it out if you haven't. And again, I'll do my best to stay here on YouTube, but being a Patreon helps. And of course, just contacting Team YouTube then. Do what these people do to me. Contact them and say, stop taking him down. Stop, bombard him. Otherwise I don't really know what to tell you, but I'll keep doing the best I can. I appreciate all you being here. God bless you and your families.